Ross Feingold, the former Asia chairman for Republicans Abroad, joins me now from Taipei. Ross, thanks for joining us. Now, just listening to Mark Rome there, he said that Democrats should be concerned about the clarity and the confidence and the way that President Trump spoke in that State of the Union address. Do you agree with this?
That's really the only conclusion one could draw, not just from this speech, but the totality of events this week. We have the confusion, to put it lightly, in the Iowa caucus for the Democrats. Obviously, President Trump is going to be acquitted in the impeachment. He might even be acquitted with the votes of some Democrat senators as well. We'll find out in the coming hours. So, if one wasn't following the news and tuned in only to this speech, they would probably say, well, sounds like things are going well under this administration. So it's certainly going to invigorate those who already support President Trump. Those who don't support President Trump, obviously, as the previous guest said, they're going to say that President Trump exaggerated everything. And then, as with any presidential election, it's going to come down to the voters who are undecided in a small number of swing states. But again, if one was only paying attention now or starting to pay attention over the course of this year, President Trump is certainly in a good position going into the re-election campaign.
Well, I wanted to look a little at this re-election campaign because Trump, at the beginning of his speech, he spoke about this blue-collar boom. And a lot of the first part of his speech was focused on the economy. Blue-collar workers have always been his support base. It's who he appeals to. So the State of the Union, in a sense, was it also not a rallying call to Americans and his supporters ahead of November's elections?
I agree with you that this term blue-collar boom, it was obviously a very well-written term, and the speechwriters deserve some credit, and it was delivered well by President Trump. We know from the 2016 election that there are this large number of Obama-turned-Trump voters. Very many of them are blue-collar, union or blue-collar type of workers, and they did switch from Democrat to Republican. And if they feel the benefits of the strong economy, and the Democrats are correct, not everyone in America feels the benefits of the strong economy, but if a sufficient number of those voters who did switch from the Democrats, did vote twice for Obama, and then switched to Trump in 2016, if a sufficient number stay with Trump in November of this year, he will get reelected. And yes, those blue-collar voters are an extraordinarily important part of the coalition that Trump needs to get reelected.
Ross, just very quickly, he didn't mention impeachment in that speech. Why do you think that's the case?
He will do so in the coming hours. So he had a good speech as far as focusing on the economy and the things that have gone well for his administration. He avoided, obviously, things that aren't going as well, including impeachment, and decided that this platform was to be more positive. But certainly when the acquittal comes through the Senate in the coming hours, President Trump will either make a public statement or certainly via his preferred platform, Twitter, he will be taunting the Democrats for their unsuccessful attempts to remove him from office.
Certainly a lot to look at in the coming hours. Ross Feingold, thanks so much for your time live to us there from Taipei.